Today we're going to discuss a very sensitive topic, a topic of the private keys. So everybody who operates on blockchain, not just Ethereum blockchain, understands the criticality and the necessity to make sure that the private keys remain private. So how do we handle this process in Jthereum? Well, first of all of the private keys stay only on your local machine. It means that we do not have access to them, and this includes also the private keys that are generated during the installation period. So we have no access, once again, to those keys, and also we have no way to regenerate them. It means that the only copies that exist, they exist solely on your computer. Those keys are generated upon the installation and are generated deterministically based on the hash of a unique ID of your computer. Your installation ID is also based on that hash. So let's take a look a bit deeper into what kind of the keys I'm talking about. So first of all, in your jthereum.config file, you can see the installation ID. So here's my installation ID, and this is the unique ID which is tied to my local computer. It means that if I want to reinstall the newer version of Jthereum, I can solely do that, and then my installation ID will remain the same. It means that my license or my contracts or any history associated with this installation ID remains intact. Now, the second type of private keys we also generate during the installation period is also the private key for the test network and the private key for the Ropsten test network. So those are two different blockchains, and you can see the private key. So this is my private key for the test network, and this is my private key for the Ropsten network. I'm showing you those private keys because those are test networks and there's no real value of Ethereum on those networks. So even if somebody looks and sees those unique keys, so they can gain access to my wallets and then they can transfer all of the Ether from those accounts, I do not care, once again, because that's a test network. However, we do not include the private key for the mainnet, which is where the real Ethereum is stored. So for instance, that's why my private key is also not stored here. But once again, as a recap, Jthereum does not have access to the keys that are specified here. They're not visible to anybody else, and you should keep them private. So ultimately, the reason why we give you and provide you the keys for the Ropsten and test network so that you could easily run the transactions on the blockchain, because every contract to be deployed and executed on the blockchain, the transactions need to be signed, and they need to be signed with your keys. Thank you.